Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Al Stock Trades. In this video, we're going to be giving you guys a quick and dirty update. I've been extremely busy on the medical side, but I want to go ahead and give you guys this update because I love you all. All right, check this out. So as you can see right now, you have $2.80 level of resistance right now. And I've been saying this for months. We've been trying to basically pass this. And now we're finally getting into that era, which is good because we're heading right towards earnings. Now, people might be asking, what's the next level? Well, $3.07 is the next level. And after that, $3.65. All right, so why is this important? Why am I making this video? There's a couple things that we need to sit down and discuss, and I'm going to try to do this as fast as possible, and I'm going to give you guys a lot of information, so you may have to rewatch this video. So Jerome Powell went ahead and basically increased the interest rates by 75 basis points, and that was predicted. He went ahead and then was a little bit more dovish than hawkish. He went ahead and said that now we're balancing the risk between inflation and a recession. And, this is a signal to market participants that basically states that, hey, you know what? The Federal Reserve now has to balance these two things, because if they increase interest rates too high, then the federal government is not going to have enough money to essentially pay off the debts that it basically owes. So this is kind of the catch-22. They can't do a Paul Volcker because the U.S. debt to GDP wasn't as high during the Paul Volcker eras. Okay, so this is kind of the constraints now, which is why the market is rallying. A lot of speculative stocks, growth stocks, are going to basically love this news, right? Because it basically says that, hey, in 6 to 7, 8 months, we are going to be very good in the market. Now, again, why is this important? I like to look at the stock market as a prognostic indicator. Like, for example, in medicine, we have this thing called genotyping and phenotyping. And what we can do is we can take your blood tests and we can basically determine genetic all these different polymorphisms, and we can basically predict what type of diseases are going to be getting in the future. And that's what the stock market likes to do. It is forward looking. It looks into the future, right? The economic data that we get looks into the past, right? So a lot, some folks are reacting, but again, the stock market predicted this back in November when the stock market went down. It was already predicting a recession. Okay, so just to kind of give you guys some information, some juice, some knowledge, right? So from there, if you go ahead and kind of follow this theme, the housing market and also the repo market for the cars, that's basically about to go crazy soon in the next couple of months. Those are very slow. That's why a lot of people, it's a sure, definite way to get wealthy, very slow, but in real estate, but it's a very sure done way because it's quite predictable. It's very easy to just basically, the math is very simple. When the stock market, it's very fast. You really got to be on top of it, okay? So let's go ahead and show you this recession sniper. So what I like to, so this is part of our All Stock Trades Mastering Stock Market course. We went ahead and basically formulated these graphs and stacked them up on top of each other. Now what you basically can see here is the gray area is a recession. And whenever you start seeing a sniper attack, it's called a recession sniper. On purpose, I call it the 30-10-5-2 caliber, right? So usually when the graphs are all fanned out, almost like one of those fans that you do in a hot July for summery day, you kind of fan yourself out with those little Asian fans, I call them. I don't know if they're Asian, but they remind me of Asian fans. You can. This is a very healthy economy. Okay. Whenever you start seeing them crunch up, almost like a sniper, the way I like to think about it, it's a sniper into the heart and soul of the economy of the United States, right? It's very graphic, right? And it basically is able to predict that, hey, a recession might happen. So let's go ahead and just kind of talk about a time where the economy was healthy. So let's go ahead and just kind of take this screenshot and let's go ahead and go deeper and let's go there. So as you can see here, the top blue line here is the 30-year, which, you can see right there, right? The 30-year, right? The one below it is the 10 and the 5 and the 2, which makes sense because if you want to invest your money for 30 years, you want to obviously be paid more than the 10, and you invest your money for the 10-year, you want to be paid more than the 5 and obviously subsequently for the 2, right? So let's go ahead and let's reverse this here, and let's go where we're at right now. I'm sure you're curious. So let's go ahead and let's go to the most recent, and let's go here. So what you basically can see here, and I just want you to basically formulate, let's go right there, okay? So now what you're seeing here, very simply put, is you're seeing that the 30-year obviously is paying the most, which as it should, but look at this dangerous part. The 2-year now which is purple, is paying more than the 5-year. And it's also, in the 5 years, paying more than the 10-year. And the 2 years paying more than the 5-year and the 10-year. So you can start to see that's not normal. You shouldn't, when you invest your money for 2 years, you obviously should pay less than the 5 and 10-year, which basically shows you that the outlook for the long-term part of the United States is negative, right? Now, that's why a lot of people are kind of pissed off. They're like, oh my God, just get on with it. Let's do a recession. It's healthy. Essentially, what people want is they want to recalibrate this and cause a recession, because every time you have a recession, it literally opens up in fans and opens up recession opens up the bullet, right? Opens up the bullet there, opens up the bullet there, opens up the bullet there. It opened it up there, and now we want it to open up here, right? So that's kind of what's happening right now. Now, the whole argument about GDP and what's going on, China, its GDP growth rate is crazy, so 4% to them is recession. So what that basically means is we're just coming off of a high GDP growth. So maybe what people are arguing is saying, maybe this may not be a recession, right? It may not be a recession because, we've been growing rapidly after we opened up from the pandemic, and maybe this is just trying to basically go back to the mean reversion. The mean reversion. Now, most folks, what the hell is a mean reversion? Well, if you go to our Buffett indicator, the mean reversion is right here. We're trying to get back there, and a lot of stocks have been over freaking valued. And this is the mean right now. And you could have done some technical analysis on this with a simple moving average. Yes, you can use technical analysis on multiple numbers. It's just a mathematical statistical model, and you can see it basically go down. All right, let's go a little bit more into this. So there's a lot going on with Clover. I just want to give you kind of a heads up what's going on. So they just basically got a CEO of home care. They're trying to get into that. About approximately 10,000 Americans are turning 65 years and older. The rates of dementia and all that is going to go up. And, a lot of patients have a hard time going into their doctor, and then there's the whole car thing. If they get dementia, they can't drive, and it's just chronic diseases, kidney failure. It's just very difficult to get them to the hospital, and it's getting really hard. So we need to basically get back to that home care, but do it in such a way, and Clover's on top of that, okay? Likewise, they went ahead and they, Mr. Leffler here is going to be the CFO. I believe is going to be coming on to the call for the earnings call here, which unfortunately I won't be doing for the earnings. I'm going to be very busy that day. But we'll go ahead and obviously do a recap in the end of the week. So from this, guys, I want you to just pay very close attention to this here. They're paying this guy really well, okay? And his success, obviously, his worth of his shares is obviously going to be paid more, right? As the stock goes up higher, his worth is going to, go up higher as well. But I want you to pay close attention to this. This guy, obviously, Wall Street trusts and respects him. He obviously knows fundamental analysis and free cash flow positivity and all this other stuff. So I want you to focus on when this guy sells. So insider activity, I want you to zoom in on this guy here. Whenever this guy sells, we should take the hint, okay? And we're going to be going ahead and doing an intrinsic value calculation as we get more, the actual real value of the growth rate of Clover, since they're growing really high. I don't think it's going to be 300%, maybe anywhere between 25 to 35%, but we'll see. Right now they're growing 80%. So if you compound from 2018 to 2022, likewise, they have this new board of directors, a very prominent figure in the Henry Ford innovation systems for the healthcare, a lot of St. Joseph hospitals, over 800 clinics. We're going to be talking more deeply about this later on. I just wanted to kind of update you very quickly. They also are expanding Medicare coverage for 2020 and 2023. There's a lot going on here, guys. This company's doing exactly what we needed to do. Now, I want you to just kind of really just focus on this. Now, this is, what I like to do is I like to do sniper attacks. I like to do sniper plays, which means that it's a play that's going to basically win and positive and negative, okay? Palantir kind of has that same sauce, but it's so overvalued with all of the revenue multiples that it was just overpriced, right? But, obviously Palantir is going to be good during a war, and it's going to be doing good during a recession. It's going to be doing good during a pandemic because they can have their little supply chain and all that technology they do to implement within their Foundry system. But, the beautiful part about Clover is that during a recession, even if we go down that slump, which many companies such as Apple, Coinbase, and all of them, JP Morgan, a lot of them are preparing, and they think 2023, 2024 is going to be the year, right? that we may be going into a recession. But who knows? We may be able to get a positive GDP growth, and that would be the end of that. It'll just kind of be a little blip on the radar and something that we might learn and reference in 20, 30 years from now. Okay? But the beautiful part about this is insurance companies do well, healthcare, companies do well during recessions because that's the last thing people cancel. People are going to cancel their Netflixes. People are going to stop shopping on Amazon. People are going to do X, Y, and Z and all these different types of things. People are not going to be buying from Etsy and Shopify, hurting Etsy stock and Shopify stocks and all that thing, but people will not cancel their healthcare insurance, which is why Warren Buffett went ahead and purchased Geico. Car insurance is somewhat of the same way, but then car problems are going to be a problem with the whole repo and everything. We'll talk about that, okay? But recession, Clover wins. Likewise, Clover will also win during a period of monetary easing, which is exactly what's happening now because the Fed just basically became dovish. Now, again, a lot of YouTubers are screaming recession, and all the negativity and everything, blood, fire, and rain, and all that. No. This is very positive. You got to understand what's going on with the market, understand market dynamics. This is exactly what the market is looking at. And, people that just basically entered the stock market 2 years ago, they don't have the sophistication and the 10-year understanding of what's going on and, the ups and downs and all that. You can go ahead and study the stock market, but if you're not in it and understand these patterns by, going through it, it's almost like an immune system, right? I can go ahead and vaccinate you and then you would get an immune response, but there's nothing better than getting the actual illness, right? That'll give you the much more robust immune response, okay? So from that perspective here, let's the focus here is that when they do become dovish and people become, let's say, Wall Street term, risk on, right? This whole risk on thing, quotation with sub quotation, is going to basically cause Clover to go up. Not just that, we also have a SaaS ingredient in there. So once they do activate that, then holy moly, guys, revenue multiples anywhere between 3 to 5. You know what I mean? So everything's going according to plan. These prices right now are a gift. A lot of people are going to be basically saying, oh, I'm very upset. I wish I bought more X, Y, and Z and all that. It is what it is, right? And many people sold at the bottom. You know what I mean? Tough cookies for them. Going ahead really quickly, going at the Clover stock, let's look up at a month. We are pretty much up 30% on the month, which is definitely good. We still have a bit of a ways to go, but we are looking pretty damn good. The sentiment for Clover is shifting. Obviously, news articles are going to be talking about how great it is in the 15, 28, 20, whatever dollar region. And, by then it's going to be too late. I mean, what are you going to do? Go ahead and buy that. And what, you want to, 1x your money, 1.5x your money. This is, it is what it is. Retail investors, do what you got to do. But luckily we have a community. We have a Reddit community. We have a YouTube community. We have this thing here. So if you like what you see, please don't forget to subscribe. Hit that like button. And if you want access to all of our intrinsic value calculation courses and everything, they'll be linked down below for that as well. I'll see you on the next one.